All they that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, the beast, whose names are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. This beast exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell in to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed, and he does great wonders. And then it says he causes all rich and poor to receive his mark in the right hand of the forehead, and if they don't receive it, they'll be killed. Okay, is that anything to be happy about? No, let's just pick something else at random here. In the vision part, let's just pick something. Oh, the ceiling. Behold, the sixth seal was open, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell to the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken up by a mighty wind. And heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and every island were moved out of their place. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and free men hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth upon the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For great is the day of his wrath, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Read that, well, would I be able to stand? You know, and every mountain and island out of their place, a great earthquake, the stars will shake and move, the moon will turn to blood, the sun will not give its light. What is there to look forward to here? How can I be blessed by reading this book? How is it possible? And let me tell you how it's possible. Is it not about what everybody thinks it's about? The book is not about predicting the future. The book has nothing to do with predicting the future of the planet. There's several correspondences in there that predict certain cycles and events that kind of repeat themselves from time to time. But outside of that, that's not the main purpose of the book. The main purpose of the book is what is given in the first verse. Is the unveiling of Jesus Christ to show his disciples things which must shortly come to pass. And blessed is he that readeth and keepeth the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein within their hearts, of course. So who was he talking to? He was talking to disciples who read and study this, and the things that will shortly come to pass is the unveiling of Jesus Christ, which will shortly come to pass in the life of the disciples. That's what the whole book is about. The unveiling of Jesus Christ in the life of the disciple that reads this and keeps these things in his heart. So why didn't John just speak clearly about this? Why didn't he say that all this is symbolism about the path that the disciple leads that unveils the life of Jesus Christ within him? Why didn't he just say that?
He knew they'd destroy it.
Blasphemy.
Right, because the church would destroy it, because even the early church, a lot of people had a hard time accepting the statement of Jesus when he told the Jews, Ye are gods. That's what he told them. Ye are gods. He says, you criticize me because people say that I am a son of God. And it says a son of God, not thee. But what's the big deal about that when your own scriptures says, ye are gods? That's a lot bigger deal, isn't it? To say ye are gods and for anyone to say that I'm a son of God? That's a lot bigger deal to say you're gods. So what's the big deal if I say I'm one of the sons of God? And what did they do to him after he said that to him? They picked up stones to throw at him, and he had to get out of there. He made him so mad, they immediately picked up stones to throw at him. So, what the book is really about is the unveiling, the unfolding of Jesus Christ in the life of the disciple. In other words, it starts out telling the person the unfolding of the Christ consciousness as he goes through the first initiation and unfolds the life of Christ within his heart, undergoes the second initiation and the third, where he undergoes the principle of baptism, and then initiation and the third initiation, and then on until he becomes like the Christ himself. And then it goes into what he can do after he becomes like the Christ. So it really talks about three stages. The first stage is the letter to the churches, and the letters to the churches unfolds the disciple as to the steps he takes to become an initiate, a higher initiate. And these are 7 stages of progression, represented by the 7 churches. And the second part is where the heavens are open, and the heavens signify higher consciousness. He has a higher consciousness opens and undergoes the third initiation, where he begins to have the heavens open to him, and he's able to see what he's never been able to see before. And then it unfolds how he treads the path to become like his master, the Christ. And then the third part tells about the work of a Messiah, of a Christ, of a Christed one. What type of work he will do and the things that will happen as he proceeds on his work. And it ends with the consummation of the building of the New Jerusalem. So why did John write it this way? Why did he write like the end of the world? Because he knew that the people that were going to be putting together the scriptures loved the end of the world stuff. Do people still love the end of the world stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, every year there's a new prophecy. Well, the world's going to end now because we got 7 planets going to be in alignment, and that's going to make the end of the world. That happened in 95 or something like that. Well, the world is going to happen the year 2000 because that's the 7,000 years prophesied in Scripture. Day with God is like or the 6,000 years ended, and we're going to have the day of rest and millennium. So Y2K is going to be it. That's going to be the end of the world. And a lot of people thought that was going to be the end of the world, and then it came and gone, and nothing happened. Now the next, right after that, a lot surfaced about Planet X is going to hit us anytime. Matter of fact, several people wrote me personal letters saying, well, how come you aren't preaching about Planet X? Aren't you worried about Planet X? I says, well, no Planet X is going to show up. And highly offended over that I said that. I don't know, now no Planet X has showed up on time. I think it's supposed to show up in 2004. 2005 still wasn't here. Matter of fact, they said Planet X was supposed to be a white dwarf. Or a red dwarf. And it was supposed to be here like, I remember everybody was saying back at that time when it was big, it was supposed to be here within 6 months, and it was going to destroy most of the earth. Well, I did a little figuring how big a red dwarf would have to be. It had to be bigger than the planet Jupiter, and it would have to be within the solar system. I says, you know, it would have to be big enough. It would show up as bright as the planet Venus if we were to look in the sky right now. That's how bright it would have to be right now. I says, I don't see any new orb up there as bright as the planet Venus, so it cannot physically get here in time to fulfill the prophecy that everybody's making. I mean, it's just pure science. And sure enough, it not only didn't get here, but it hasn't shown up at all. And so, I've been pretty accurate prophet on the internet, because every prophet that makes a prediction, I say it's not going to happen. And it doesn't happen, and so I guess I'm the one that's the true prophet. But the thing is, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's really easy to do. And just now, once in a while, every day, the stop clock is right twice. So one of these times, somebody's going to make a prediction that's going to come true. And hopefully I can catch that one, so I don't look like a fool. I say, well, no, that's not going to happen, and then it might happen. But, you know, some things, like a lot of people are always predicting a stock market crash within 6 months. There's an ongoing prediction about that. And I predict the airplane just flew over. There's an ongoing prediction about the economic collapse since I can remember. I mean, it's always floating out there, somebody making one. But someday there probably will be a collapse. You know, so someday somebody's going to be right, and it'll probably be not because they're psychic, but by accident. That somebody's just going to be right. There probably will be another, well, periodically there are significant collapses, but let's hope there's not a complete collapse.